I think I have the flattest butt ever and have always been insecure. How to be confident. No, you did not.
Working on confidence, flattest ass. Well,
Welcome to your favorite podcast. It's Full Coverage with your host, Manny and Mew. Hey.
and Laura Lee.
Hey.
Hi, you guys. Welcome back again.
Hey, baby.
Happy Friday, you guys. Are you guys alive and well?
Yeah.
Are you happy to see us?
Yeah.
'Cause we're
Who
happy
said
to see
that?
you. Oh my gosh. So you guys, we're going to be doing an advice column for today's episode. We put on our stories, be like, okay, if you guys have anything you want advice on, some unsolicited or solicited advice from the fools, we got you guys covered. And we do love to do this every so often to just, connect with you guys and see what you guys are thinking, what you guys are going through, and hopefully some of our advice
And we'll
can
do
help.
the best of our abilities.
We are not professionals.
As a reminder,
And
we are
take this advice lightly.
we are not a licensed therapist. We are
This
not
is not BetterHelp.
professionals, and this is not BetterHelp.
So just know that, okay? But we are going to do our best that we can to give you guys some advice from the experiences that we've had, because we have lived many a life. Many lives that we've lived. But first and foremost, of course, peaks and pits.
Pikes and pipes.
Peaks and pits. You want to start?
I got a quick funny one for my pit. It's quick.
Okay, tell me.
Whenever we were on the way to the boba shop, which we talked about last week, as soon as I get in the car, I'm like going through all my purse and stuff, touching up my lip, me and Val are in the back seat, and my fingernail popped off.
No.
And I was like, no, because we're about to meet all these people. We're about to see. Listen.
I'm imagining
I was
it
literally like,
popping
are
out.
you fucking kidding me? This couldn't happen at the house. And I'm such a rookie because this is the
You have
rule
nail
I
glue in your
have.
purse, though.
If you wear false lashes, you bring the nail glue with you.
Right.
If you put on a press on, you bring the nail glue.
Yeah.
Like, you always bring the glue if you're
Yes.
wearing a fake extension. I gotta go get my nails done. I've just been kind of putting it off. So I've been doing
Yes.
press-ons for a few weeks.
Absolutely.
That sucker popped right off. And let me tell you, I spent the whole day with my fourth finger
Like this.
down. You can look at every picture.
No,
Yes,
Laura.
honey. I ain't getting clocked in the club.
Look, I didn't know you. Like, I didn't even realize that you were giving chicken hand the freaking whole time.
You'll never see it coming. A phantom.
Laura, I'm gagged.
I had to chop that finger off. And I'm
You're
like,
like this
are
in
you
the car?
fucking kidding? I was pissed. I was like, oh my God.
Because nail glue wouldn't save that, right? You couldn't keep it down with the nail glue.
Nail glue. I needed nail glue for the
you
nail.
needed- oh, got it.
I didn't
got
have
you
it
had
with
nail
me.
glue.
I didn't have it
Got
with me. Rookie move.
Damn.
Big
And you
mistake.
usually like it huge.
Big mistake.
And I feel like you usually have it like in your bag. Like
I
you'll have a
do.
little
I
nail glue
always have
stuck
it.
to the bottom of the purse.
Uh-huh.
Just glued down.
And isn't it the worst when a press-on goes,
Oh,
ooh.
pops right the fuck off.
I gotta go get my nails done, and that's that. So, and those will last me. I'll do gel X, and they'll last me like
Weeks.
like 4 weeks. So
And nothing will pop off when you do that?
nothing. I've never had a gel X pop off before.
And are gel X comfortable when you do them? Or is it kind of like you have a nail on? Like it's like
You
intense?
know you have a nail
Got
on.
it. Like it's not like a...
And it's only because I do medium. If I did short, it would
Would
probably
be.
be a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
But I like a little length.
Yeah, and I think the link is really pretty.
It
It's really
is.
cute. I want you to do one like to here.
Ooh.
I want like a 3-inch on you.
Listen, I'm a baddie, but I ain't that bad.
I ain't that bad. Let me tell you something. I want the
I
boobs
see the
like this.
baddies out there,
I want
and
the boobs like
listen.
Mm.
I appreciate what y'all do,
And we live for you.
but I can't do it.
But I can't.
I can't.
Can't be you.
No.
Cannot be you. I love that. My pit, it was actually really funny. I got shredded yesterday by the window washer guy.
That's so good for you.
It was so funny because I literally like some guy, he's like knocking on my door, and I'm like, I never even answer the door. I'm gonna be real. Like I never really answer it when anyone's knocking, but I looked down from my thing and he was kind of fine.
Oh, here we go.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and answer and see what this guy
This
wants.
is gonna be your famous last words.
so
was
then I open the doors. He has, of course, barking going off, and I'm like, oh, excuse my guard dog. I close it, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, yes, can I help you? And it was just like this, literally like this, like 6'2" hot, like
Oh, here we go.
6'2" hot guy, and I was like, do you need like, anything from me? And he's like, so I'm just going down the neighborhood. I'm a power washer, and I noticed that your windows are like really bad.
Ooh.
And I was really like, they are? So then I literally go and look
You're like,
like
you
this.
sure?
I'm like, what? So then I go kind of around, and I was kind of like, in my mind, I'm thinking they're actually not that bad at all. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, they're not that bad whatsoever. Not enough for like a full power washing like craziness. And he's like, I can give you like a great deal, $450 for the windows. And I was kind of like, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
You hit
Give
him
me
with
your
the I'll let
card.
you know.
Give me your card. I will let you know. So then he gave me a little card. I put it back. And I posted my stories and I was like, oh, like it was like $450. And everyone's like, that's a great deal.
I know. What did I DM you?
You're like, do it.
I was like, Manny, I would have done it.
And I was like,
$450
really?
for the whole house? Absolutely.
I didn't. And honestly,
Girl, I was about to say, you got his card?
Yeah, I got
You
it.
need to send me a picture of it. He needs to come do my windows.
I didn't know that was like an
That's a good
deal.
Price. That's
so
a
now
good
I'm kind of
deal.
like,
honey, he was hooking you up.
Maybe I should hit him up.
He really was.
But the thing is, again, like my mirrors or my windows were not that bad.
Yeah.
They
Until they
bad.
clean them and then you go, oh.
Imagine like I can't even see. It's like literally pitch black. I'm like, they're not
that bad. The thing is, windows get like this transparent fogginess on it, and you don't know until they're clean, and then you're like, but hey, you say $450.
So I saved my coin, but I'm kind of like, maybe I should.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking too, I was like, what if it's like there's ash on them and I can't even tell, like, and that it has like that foggy film, because like I have windows that I can't reach. Obviously, like there's windows that I'm like, girl, I can't get there. I'll never be able to get there. But they're not that bad because it just rained.
Yeah.
So right now they're kind of like. Not bad, so I didn't want to do it, but I thought this whole time that $450 was like, damn, that seems like a lot of money for like just like to wash the windows.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's not. It's
apparently
a really
everyone's
good deal.
like, girl, it's a deal. Take it.
Girl,
I was like,
It was a steal. It was a deal.
I didn't know it was a steal. I'm devastated.
Missed opportune.
I have the card at the house though.
That's good. I want the card.
You're like, good.
He's gonna quote me double. Send it. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Lord, no. So yeah, I feel like I might have to hit him up for that.
Yeah, you might have to hit him up.
But I'm like, the thing is like my dad can power wash. Like he knows how to do all this stuff.
Okay.
I'm like,
call
Dad,
Mr. Gutierrez.
You sit. I'm like, Dad, come freaking power wash
Manuel
them, please. Please.
He's gonna say, get the fuck,
out of here. I have to do a lot of shit at home. And I'm like,
yeah.
Power wash it. Maybe I'll just buy a power washer.
Hell no. Joey Fu. He's notorious with the power washer.
No, in my mind, I'm like, I can power wash.
You're like, no thanks, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I get a power wash, I blow my fucking face off. I power wash it's literally just like no skin. I'm like, oh.
I'm dead.
I just don't think that's gonna be good for me, so I won't. But
never.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to do it.
Well, my peak could be controversial.
Perhaps.
I watched Mr. Beast Games on Amazon Prime.
You're intrigued.
And I didn't click it. I was working on stuff and Ty just put it on the TV. And then it was like a second in and me and him were glued to the TV. We were glued. It's so good.
God, Mr. Beast got you.
I know he got me.
He got you with the games.
He got me, you guys. If you haven't watched it, it's like... It's really well done. It's like the way they filmed it and like leave you on a cliffhanger every time. It's crazy. I've never seen a TV show, which they are breaking records for like giving away the most amount of money ever on a TV show. So it's shocking amount of money. So the people are going like crying and going extra crazy for it. But it's so many people and they're eliminating quick. It's kind of like a mixture of Squid Games, but they just don't kill the people, I don't think.
I mean, you don't know. I heard the environment was fucked. You never know. I heard the environment was pretty rotten.
Let Rosanna Pansino find out.
Shit. She's like,
honey, they will be checked at the door.
But no, I really like. The thing is, like before, I've seen a few Mr. Beast YouTube videos, and they're really well produced. Like he has like great production. Like obviously, he doesn't get hella views for no reason.
Yeah.
But with that Amazon backing,
ooh,
you know it's fierce. And the thing is, like we are Squid Games girlies down, and we do like a little reality competition show. So it makes sense for us to like it. And so, but I'm kind of intrigued to play the first episode, but I don't want to give him a view. I'm like this. I'm like that. But I'm really actually quite intrigued. And I do want to play. It's
really good. It's really well done. And good for them for giving all these people money.
On 100%. You know, I would think they too, like, someone can just be rotten to the core, to be quite honest. But
all these
if
people,
they are helping people.
Some of these people said they live in their car. Yeah. These people are single moms, like fighting for some money on there. I'm like, good for them, at least giving people money. I can support that.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like giving people the chance to have better lives.
Yes. Because they're constantly kind of also like there's a big jackpot, but you know, like if you want to bail out now, you can win. Yeah, like it's stuff like that. So people are winning money throughout every episode, and it's really cool because that's going to change their life. immensely. Like people are winning 6 digits. Like it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's like going from like literally nothing.
Yeah. It was so funny
digits.
in one episode. This guy, so basically you're in a line and it's like a line of like probably 60 people, like just rows, but there's tons of the rows, right? And basically they put a huge number of money up on the board, and if one person that whole entire row clicks their button, they get to take the money and the whole row gets eliminated, right? So this guy, the whole entire time, he's like keeping his row together. I mean, he is like the leader. He's like, no, we got this. And at the end, he's like this.
No, he
yes,
didn't.
it's crazy. It is crazy.
So it's like giving Survivor. It's literally
it's like a mixture of Squid Games and Survivor. It's very interesting, and they did a really good job with it.
Wow. Or it's literally you kind of have to like scheme and concoct. Like
a lot of that.
That actually feeds into my peak because I literally just started watching Traitors, the newest season. And I'm so hooked. I literally feel like it might be like the best season so far. There's only 5 episodes. It's 6th one on Thursday, and I'm like tuned the fuck in. And it's so funny because there's obviously people that played Survivor on this show, and it's so fascinating to me because it's like you have your gamers, right? You have the people that did like the challenge, you got Survivor at Big Brother, but then you have your people that are like Real Housewives, like Drag Race, like people that weren't gamers. It feels like
on Traitors, schemers do better than gamers.
1,000,000%.
Right?
Or like, the gamers tend to do better in general.
Yeah. But it's like the schemers are the ones that like really make it to the top on Traitors.
Yeah, but they're usually gamers. That's the thing, is like they've actually schemed their way to win things. So like, for example, like let's say someone like an icon in Survivor who's literally won 2 times.
Who?
Apparently his second name's like something with Bob from Boston or something.
Yes, Boston Bob.
He's in it.
Yeah.
So Boston Bob, he's in it. And
he's another guy that apparently iconic.
Won 3 times.
Boston Rob. You're right, Boston Rob.
And there's another guy that won like 3 times.
What's his name?
In it. I don't know
his name. Not Tony.
Tony.
It's Tony.
That's it. That's Tony.
I'm a Survivor junkie.
Yeah, so I was like, so you know. So they're in the show, so they're like very
Tony
schemy.
was a cop.
Yeah,
yeah,
so.
I love Tony. I've watched all of his seasons.
So I love it. But the thing is, like, then you see like the people, like let's say you see like the housewives aren't as like scheming.
They're aloof.
They're more aloof.
They are
more,
aloof.
Like, for the show. Like, it's kind of like for the show. They're not like necessarily as like game centric, kind of knowing exactly what's going on. They're kind of being like, okay, well, what are we doing here, you guys? Like, what the fuck is the vibe? Like, who are we voting for? So it's fun. Like the Traitors in general, it's like that show. It's on Peacock, and it's basically like the mole. Like where you're trying to find these people that are killing everyone off by like kind of taking away or like kind of like from the money or whatever the fuck. And the traitors will kill off the faithfuls, and the faithfuls try to figure out who the traitor is in the group, but everyone's just lying. Obviously,
everybody acts like they're a faithful.
Everyone acts like it's like they're.
Do you want to know how crazy Tony is?
Who? Oh, Tony.
So on Survivor, there's it's called like the water hole, or like the water where you can go get your fresh water and then you boil it and drink it. It's like in the woods, so you have to walk to it and like get a bucket of water or whatever. And so what happens is a lot of people are like, I'm gonna go get water, but they use it as an opportunity to chat. So it's not like, oh, we're walking away and gonna chat. They'll just be like, we're gonna walk away and get water. So it looks like you're doing something.
Yeah.
So Tony, there was a tree by the water thing. This crazy man would climb up the tree and sit in it all day, hidden at the top of a tree, and listen to every single thing everybody said. So he knew every move that was going on.
No.
He's insane. Every night people would go to sleep, he would stay up all night going through people's stuff, going to other camp. Like, he was a whole nother level, and that's why he won so many times.
I live
He's
for that.
really good.
So he's just like clever, smart.
He's very smart. Very smart.
So Boston Rob, what's
same.
his story like?
It's like the same.
Like
it's like the
schemer.
same. Like he would go above and beyond and scheme and play the game. Like
he's scheming boots.
He was the schemingest schemer ever, and so is Tony. They're schemers.
Baby. Y'all, you were gonna gag when you watch. You're gonna have so much fun. I would recommend, and I also just started watching Severance, which is another really really popular show that everyone talks about. And Laura and Tyler were like, you have to fucking watch it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I watched 2 episodes. I'm living, kind of confused, but living with the show. It's so good. Another great aspect of a show that's just like so fascinating. So for me, my peaks are like kind of starting these new shows I've been like wanting to watch, get into. Honestly, it was like such a long ass weekend that I was like, girl, I need a break.
Ooh, I know that's right.
I took like the whole Sunday for myself. It didn't work, didn't film, didn't edit, didn't do anything. I literally just took it to like actually rest.
Yeah.
The Lord's Day.
I
used it. Honey, I used it.
Is that everything?
I think so. I think that was both peaks and pits.
Yep. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. We often hear about red flags we should avoid, but what if we're more focused on looking for green flags in a friendship or partner? What if you're not sure what red flags look like? Well, therapy can help you identify green flags, red flags, all of the flags. Honestly, it's just therapy can really help you with dating, being married, or even building friendships. Working on yourself or just working on yourself. It's time to form relationships that love you back.
You guys, BetterHelp is fully online therapy, which is, really, affordable for what therapy can be and how crazy it can be. And they're serving over 5 million people worldwide. And they have such a diverse network that you can access 30,000 credentialed therapists with wide ranges of specialties, which I think is absolutely amazing. And there's actually no cost to switch over therapist anytime, which I think is really, really cool. So you guys should definitely discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/full coverage to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/full coverage. Thank you so much to Cook Unity for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys. Honestly, when you're on that health grind and that health journey that you're on, we need some nutrient-dense meals because that is so vital to our health. And, honestly, you don't want it to be boring. And I feel like Cook Unity has these fresh, amazing flavors, including keto, gluten-free, and GLP-1 balanced.
I think the number one thing with staying on track with your health journey is the preparation. And that takes so much time and planning. But with Cook Unity, they make it so easy. And their meals are really, really yummy. And they're so easy just to warm up and eat. And you don't have to plan. You don't have to do anything. And they're delivered right to your door.
I also love that they're sent fresh and not frozen, which I think is really, really cool. And it's like they're not going to be frozen in the freezer. You can literally just get them fresh and you go. And I think that's such a nice, easy thing to do. So you guys can go to cookunity.com/full or enter code FULL before checkout for 50% off your first week.
Woo, that's huge.
Crush your health goals with nourishing, convenient, chef-rated meals delivered straight to your door. Go to cookunity.com/full or enter code FULL before checkout for 50% off your first week. That's 50% off your first week by using code FULL or going to cookunity.com/full. All right. Who's ready to get into
Oh,
the advice?
you go first.
You're like, is that everything? The episode's over?
Okay, guys, we'll see you next
Well, that
week.
was
They're
fun.
like, bitch, we don't care.
Bitch, the fuck you mean?
Fuck.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'm
I have one. I'm not gonna say anyone's names. It'll be anonymous. So this person goes, quote, I'm in a situationship with a coworker. I know. But how do you get over a situationship? Because you're technically not in a relationship with them, but you're in a situationship.
You never officially dated.
Yes, and it's a coworker.
When it's situationship, it's kind of like you guys were talking.
Yes, or
potentially
situational.
hooking up, little light things like that, but it was
Yes.
never official.
So how do you get over a situationship? I feel like for me, getting over a situationship, like you kind of have to essentially X them out completely.
But when you work with someone,
it's hard.
that is where you made the first mistake.
Honestly, that was actually mistake number one.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have even done it from the jump.
Unless you're planning on quitting that job.
Yeah.
You're
gonna see them often. It's like, why even do that?
That's why it's hard for you to get over it probably because you have to constantly be around them and see them. Haven't you watched The Holiday with Jasper?
Baby.
Honey.
You have to quit the job.
It's a tale as old as time.
Quit the job.
You have to kill him.
Yeah. Marry him. It's time.
No. Well,
I feel like with one of those things where it's like in a situationship, what you need to do, honestly, it sounds funny and fucked, but it's the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. You have to kind of seek out other people and kind of putting yourself out there in a way where it's it's easier to get over someone when you're talking to someone else.
Yeah,
right?
and get interest in someone else.
Once you lose that interest for that person, that situationship, it's usually a lot easier to do that when you have someone to talk to. Girl, download the dating apps. Do something to kind of distract yourself.
People to not date someone involved in work or career based. Because if it does go south, you don't get to you don't get to get away from them.
Escaping.
You don't get to block and move on. You know what I mean?
You have to literally
and
deal with
oftentimes things do go south in relationships, I feel like.
So yeah, honestly, the problem was in the first place was getting into it. But advice-wise, I would say download apps, try to start talking to someone else. The only way you're going to actually really be able to do that is if you start distracting yourself with other things. So try to distract yourself and, distance yourself and disassociate from that situationship.
I think I have the flattest butt ever and have always been insecure. How to be confident. I know you did not just write that. I know you did not just say
I get it, you guys. I get it.
No, he does. He got a BBL, so tell him.
I get it. Like,
tell him.
No, okay, you guys. So working on confidence, flattest ass. Well,
I love that you have.
It's tough. It's
tough. I
Listen.
just feel like owning it is like so powerful though.
Same.
Seriously.
Same.
I don't like my nose, and when I'm like, I want a nose job, people are always like, why is it the big hump in your nose? I'm like, no, it's just kind of how it protrudes out of my face like a fucking beak, really. That's what bothers me. Not really the hump. The hump is fine. It's really the protrusion of the nose. But thank you. But it's like owning it and just being like, listen, I know I have a bird beak on my face, and I don't give a fuck what you think about it. I don't like it either. No, okay, listen. I think you got to learn to love it.
I do too,
I do.
honestly.
I think
Unless
you
you're going to do something to change it.
Yeah, you have to learn to love it. Because
really
you can't be miserable. So also, there are ways to dress yourself that maybe will make you feel more confident and more flattering on a flatter back end. You know what I mean?
Underwear with padding in the back.
Child, do not pad. Man, he's about to have you out in the street with a drag queen. Child!
The Boston booty. Yeah. The drag race Boston booty.
She about to have them hips. She about to have them hips. No.
There's padded
Don't
underwear.
Don't do it.
In reality, I agree with you. I think that's something you have to learn to love, or it's something you have to change. For example, like let's say if you have a flat ass, you're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna start working out more. I'm gonna start doing legs. I'm gonna start doing like these things where you're trying to grow your booty. And there's a lot of ways where you can actually grow it with working out and actually like lifting and doing things and squats. And there's ways you can grow it. Like,
and just like also like finding outfits that flatter the booty, like literally, find the right outfit.
What if it's so flat that it's like goes like in, like you don't want to do a tight dress?
Then don't do a tight dress. Don't do a tight dress. Do a dress that has a flow. Do a dress that has a ruffle. Anything that's not going to sit too tight on your back end. Like, and this is like, honestly, at the end of the day, every human on this earth, except for Kim Kardashian, I'm just kidding, but every human on this earth has like one thing at least that they're just like really don't like about themselves.
Absolutely.
That just like makes them feel less confident, right? Like each of us probably have like one thing on our body, whether it's a mole, a freckle, hair, titties, our feet, our toes, our ass. Like, society eats us alive, okay? The thing at the end of the day, if you don't find that confidence, once you get the ass thing checked out, it's going to be the next thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got to find a level of confidence in yourself, regardless of the size of your ass. And I think flat asses are beautiful. I do. I think they're great. So
yeah, she doesn't have a flat ass, by the way. So she's saying that. She's like, I think they're great. She doesn't have one.
I have a surprising.
Tyler goes, what about a frog ass?
That's awful.
That's horrible.
That's horrible. I have a surprising ass for my body shape.
No, it's like.
There's no hips. It's just
lifted.
all in the back.
It is. You have a donk.
I know. One
She's
time
like, I love a small ass.
I was checking
She's like, she's throwing it back. She's literally in the club throwing it back. In
my dump truck. One time I was twerking at Bad Bunny, throwing it back, and Gabriel was like, "You have a really big ass for your body." He was like, "You have a big ass." I was like, "What?" This girl listening is like blocked, deleted. Fuck both of them and their fat asses.
Oh my god, my favorite line of the episode was, "I think flat asses are a beautiful thing." It just sounds so fucking funny to me. I think they're a beautiful thing.
They
but
are
honestly,
great.
It really is about just finding the confidence in yourself to,
at high school, guys, all these guys, they would like clown me in the best way because I was like the jokester of jokesters.
Yeah, you're the funny one.
So they knew. Yeah. They knew. And they would all walk down the hallway going, Laura Lee got a donk. Laura Lee got a donk. Oh, absolutely. Laura Lee got a donk. Yep.
See, that's great.
I loved it. Pretty sure my ass was flat back then too. So I think it was like a running joke.
Honestly, you just have to work out. Like, let's be real. Like, you just need to
plump it.
If you want to, just get some squats going, get some protein in you, eat some oats, honey. It will
just learn to love the flatness.
Girl.
Seriously. We all got shit we got to learn to love.
Because honestly, you can't be miserable. Listen.
That's it.
You can't. I have insecurities where I'm like, fuck, it's annoying as fuck, but you like, you can only do so much. You know what I mean?
You're going to be on your deathbed one day wishing you would love that flat ass.
I know. Because, listen, as you get older, it gets flatter.
Oh.
So you got to learn to love what you have at the moment. You really do. Okay, next one. I feel like my friend is self-sabotaging her life, but she won't listen to me.
Oh
Is
my
there any
God.
advice on this?
Did you write that about me?
So, and it goes self-submitted. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh,
My Manny away. Oh shit.
Manny, I can see you wrote that.
Manny, I can see your name. Yeah, self-sabotaging your life and won't listen to me. Is there any advice on that? So the thing is that this is like tough. It's like a tough situation because you cannot force someone to get help, right? Like at the end of the day, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can't do that. So at the end of the day, sometimes it's easier as a friend to slightly detach a little bit to be like, you know what? If you're not going to listen to advice,
You're a
going to have to
mess.
self-sabotage yourself.
Yeah.
Because truly, it's something where it's like, if it's causing you so much strife as the friend that's trying to give advice, trying to be there for the friend, but the friend won't listen, won't do anything about it, you got to let them swim or sink on their own at times.
Some
just have
people
to.
have to learn through experience.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just have to like go through it and self-sabotage and live with all
And
their
crash
mistakes
out.
before they can learn.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, as a friend, you can still be their friend, absolutely. But you don't need to have them in your most immediate bestie circle. You know what I mean? You can have them as a friend, but if they're crashing out, they're doing all these things, they're like being crazy, acting a fool, it's okay to, like, you know what, reassess maybe where the friendship's at. And then maybe once they've gone over some type of self-sabotaging they're going through, we can kind of re-invite back into our inner circle. But you know what I mean? It's just tough. It's a tough situation. But at the end of the day, you have to let people do what they have to do. And if they're gonna crash out, they're gonna crash out. And hopefully you're still there at the very end of it. But it's okay to be like, you know what? I can't even be dragged into your messiness, into your tomfoolery.
I agree with that. Okay. Let's see here. I just started hot yoga. How do I get better at hot yoga and stay consistent with my routine? I think in general, any routine, you've got to set yourself up for success with anything new you want to try, whether it's a workout, a hobby, whatever it is. That includes hot yoga. One, that shit's hard, but the less you do it, the harder it gets, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. So it's something you do want to be really consistent at because your body gets used to the heat.
Got it.
And so it becomes easy to be in heat. But I think like anything, you've got to set yourself up for success. So you might want to read the book Atomic Habits. It'll help. But I think too, like, in set yourself up for success, like hold yourself to a standard whether you're gonna go 1 or 2 times a week. You know what I mean? And like make that happen. And once that's happened for a few months, you can bump up from there. And also something I always say is like, should you wear your gym clothes throughout the day? Like, if that's a possibility for you to wear your leggings and sports bra throughout the day because you're already dressed, so chances are likely you're more likely to go, or have your clothes packed in your car and ready to go. So you really, the harder you make it on yourself to get there, the less likely you are to go.
100%.
And that's so my point is, like, make it easy on yourself. Have your mat and towels rolled up. This is what I do too. So I'm speaking specifically to hot yoga, but like I'll midday, I have the luxury of, but I'll go ahead and put on my yoga set. And so that way, if I don't want to go, bitch, I already put on the outfit. I'm not undressing and then not going. Like, that's too much effort. I'm just going to go. So it's like doing little things to help yourself along the way. But it's also an identification thing. So whatever workout or hobby, if you don't identify yourself with, I am a human being who's healthy and works out, you're eventually going to quit. So you have to identify. It has to become an identity for you. So it has to get down into your core. Like, this is a part of my life now. This isn't just a new thing that I'm picking up for right now. No, this is who I am. I'm a yogi. I work out. I'm a healthy queen. And that's why I'm showing up. So it's also an identity. And that will help you stay consistent because you identify with it.
100%. Also, like, if you have a planner, writing things down in your planner, I like live by my calendar on my phone. So that's something like I stay more consistent because I'm like, oh, like I have a schedule almost in a way where it's like scheduling things helps me when I'm writing it down. So it's like I'll forget a lot of times, like, where I'm like, oh shit, I had this one thing, but I didn't schedule it, so I didn't write it down, so I completely forgot about it. It's just like something that could help in general. If you're like writing things down, you remember things a lot easier and retain a lot better when you're actually writing things down. So try writing things down. If you're like, oh, I want to schedule this workout in for this class, I'm going to put it for Thursday on my calendar. It's a plan. Chances are higher that you'll go through with it if it's like written down, planned out, and you've made space for it in your life. Thank you so much to Hers for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys. Let's face it, weight loss can feel so freaking overwhelming and so intense, and that's why Hers is changing the game by providing access to GLP-1 medications plus expert care. They make your goals a lot more achievable.
Hers is transforming women's health care by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans delivered straight to your door if prescribed. After submitting an online intake form, a licensed medical provider will determine what plan is best for you. If prescribed, your program includes medication and ongoing care and online support at one low cost.
I just love that there's a resource here that can help you with, just different journeys and different struggles that we could be on. I think it's an absolutely amazing resource that Hers is providing. So you've been struggling with your weight loss journey. It's time you find the best option that works for you through Hers.
Start your initial free trial online. Visit forhers.com/full. That's forhers.com/full for your personalized weight loss treatment options. Forhers.com/full. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. Thank you to Orgain for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage. You guys, a new year, and I know a lot of us are on our new health journeys.
That grind.
On the health grind. And Orgain believes in real nutrition. It is an organic plant protein powder, and it packs 21 grams of complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids.
All Orgain products are actually made with USDA certified organic ingredients, which I think is absolutely freaking amazing. And they have things that we like to avoid, like soy ingredients, artificial sweeteners, flavors, or preservatives.
Are you busy? Us too. That's why Orgain is simple. It's made so you can literally just add water and go. It's not time consuming, and you don't need to prep it to get your nutrients in.
Plus, you guys, from protein bars to shakes, so tons of nutritional products, Orgain has something that the whole family will love. There's something in there that you will enjoy from Orgain.
There are no quick fixes when it comes to your health. If you want more protein, give Orgain organic plant protein powder a try. Head to Orgain.com/full and use code FULL for 30% off your order. That's the best offer you'll find, but you'll have to use our code FULL for 30% off. One last time, for 30% off, head to Orgain.com/full and use code FULL.
Okay, this one's funny. It kind of cracked me up, and I was like, yeah. How do I pose better in photos? I get frustrated on how I look, and my husband wants to improve.
Let me, May's like, bitch, this was mine.
She's like,
I was like, let me take over.
Yeah, what do you think, Laura?
Listen, I know because there are a couple ways to do this. One, pose and take pictures when you're not ready and dressed, just so you can get some poses that look good down, right? Like have a jeans and a t-shirt on, just be like, can you come take some pictures of me real quick, just so you can, ahead of the time, know what poses are going to work for you. I got like 3 that I go to, honey, and they just work. And I will be striking one of them, okay?
I know them. Yup.
The other thing I advise is whoever's taking your picture, ask them to not sit here and go, click, okay, do another pose. Click. You know what I asked them to do?
Keep clicking,
Let
baby.
that bitch roll. Click, 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 click. Like take 1,000 pictures, and I promise you're gonna get 1 out of 1,000.
That will look sickening.
Yep, they gotta go while taking pictures,
tapping.
and you just gotta move. Move.
Honestly, movement's like big on like the posing. Like if you're just kind of like being active and like moving around, it'll look like a more lifelike and more realistic. Also, another great practice tip too is like, let's say someone's not taking photos for you and you're just going to practice. So set your phone up, put it on self camera mode, and you'll be able to see like what you can see yourself in the camera, and then a photo is taken. So you can be like, okay, this is like the angle I like the most of myself. Try practicing it that way too, where it's like, okay, this is a pose I just liked. I just did it myself. So next time someone's taking a photo of you, you can do that exact same pose because you know that you did it yourself and you liked it. So try putting it on self timer for yourself, facing you, so you can see exactly what you're gonna look like and what poses work great.
I used to have Ty whenever I was like trying to figure out what looked good on me. I used to make him literally hold the phone front facing like this, and then like just tap the button as I go so I can see myself. The quality is not as good in the front camera, but after I got a few good ones, I'd be like, okay. And then he would flip the camera backwards, and then we would get my shots.
So you can see.
Yeah.
It's easier when you can see yourself, what angles you actually genuinely like. So practicing that tip, I think that's a fantastic tip of doing like front facing camera for a little bit to see what the poses you like, what kind of thing you want to do.
Yep.
And then go into back facing.
Also, you should go on Pinterest and look up poses, because honey, these bloggery girls, they spend hours trying to teach y'all how to pose now.
Really?
Go on. Yes, you can go on Pinterest.
There's like posing tutorials.
Oh, literally, these girlies, they will show you all like 5 different poses, and I'll be stealing all of them.
You're like this.
That's what they're there for. Me on the red carpet.
Literally like
you better trust. You better trust and believe.
I can see it. I can envision it so clearly.
How to forgive after a cheating scandal that came to light 5 years after. So imagine you're in a relationship for a long time, but they cheated 5 years ago and it just came out. Fuck.
My reaction would literally be like, fuck you, fuck. That literally would be me.
Dude, that's horrible.
Honestly, that's actually really tough because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what time it was.
It doesn't.
The trust is broken.
It is. That sucks. You know what? You're finding out today, so it's okay to treat it as if it just happened. I think.
I could not agree more. And it's like, yeah, you might have like, let's say, who knows the situation, like what it actually was.
I know.
And how, like the depths of it. And like, what if they thought it was cheating? Like, let's say they were just chatting with someone and it's like, oh shit,
Emotional cheating.
And that was 5 years ago. I really don't know. I feel like that's really, really hard. And I think everyone's a little bit different with those situations. But I would feel like it just had happened. It would feel like a gut in the fucking punch. That's how I would feel. Because it's like, well, where were we at 5 years ago? What was happening then?
And so it's like, maybe you feel like, wow, he hasn't cheated in 5 years. Clearly that's over. Wish I stay with him. You would feel like that weighing on you. Like,
totally.
What if they did it once 5 years ago and you've been with this fool for 5 more years? Honey, you don't have to forgive him, right?
Right. And you can
also
like literally
drop his
ass.
Right then and there. You can literally drop his ass.
Especially because it's like, who knows if he would do it again? At the end of the day, yeah, you find out 5 years later that it happened. But what if it happened again? Like, what if it happens another 5?
Yeah.
So it's like something where it's like, are you going to be complacent and okay with the cheating?
Yeah.
Or are you not? Like, at the end of the day, you have to like figure out what you really want. Is it something where it's like, well, it happened 5 years ago. Like, I'm still happy. So it is what it is. Or is it something where it's like, no, you broke my trust. I'm over it. And this is fucked.
Because you definitely don't have to forgive.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely the fuck not. And honestly, I'd be fucking livid. Let me tell you that. Okay, this one's funny because I was like, it kind of reminded me of you, Laura. This one goes, should I elope with my fiance and tell no one until it's done?
Well, that's what I did.
That's why I said it. I was like, oh my, this is so funny. I think that it really just depends on like the relationship. If you want to do it, fuck yeah.
The crazy thing about it all is if you think about it, which I haven't met anyone that's outright told me, I regret so much not having a big wedding. I have not met a person yet who's ever told me that. A lot of people share their stories of elopement or courthouse weddings with me because they know that that's what I did. The beautiful thing about eloping is there's like a little safety net in there because you could do like a 5-year wedding anniversary and have a wedding.
Yeah.
10-year vow renewing wedding. You can still have a wedding. It's very normalized in our society to do like the vow renewal, the wedding. Look at me. I never got wedding pictures because I got married at a courthouse and it was just like us in a courthouse. It wasn't like wedding pictures, And I wanted them, so we went on vacation and I went and got them. So like things have changed so much now that there's almost like this safety net there of like you can still have a wedding if you regret it later on. But if you do want to not go in 6 digits debts for
elope,
one quick day, then elope, babes. Elope.
Then absolutely elope. I think honestly at the end of the day, you can elope and still like invite like your parents. Like it doesn't have to be like, let's say just you two and like you eloped and do whatever. If you want, mind you, this is if you want. If you want to bring some people along with you, you absolutely can. But at the end of the day, it really is about you and your partner and what you guys want to do. That's the whole point of like getting married is like starting your own life with someone, like y'all together. And everyone of course is in your life and you have your loved ones and your family. But that's like about you and your partner. So at the end of the day, that's what's really important is like if you and your partner want to elope, then elope. And just like Laura said, you can bring things on way later in life. Like if you want to, like if you want to get wedding photos, if you guys want to have a ceremony, if you want to do all these things, if you want to have a vow renewal, you can do that later on. But if you're in the mood to be like, baby, we're just going to elope, it's going to be us two, it's going to be our fantasy, then absolutely do that. Do it. If you're even asking me, I think you know the exact answer to it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm miserable at my job. I have been applying for new ones for 6 months with no luck. What do I do? You might not be applying for the right jobs. What's your resume look like?
Yeah.
You got any typos in there?
6 months? It's a long time.
They're hiring a lot now too. Yeah. Like jobs are a little more easier to come by now that we're like out of a lot of the mess with COVID. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like leveled out a bit. Here's the thing. 1, be patient. Your time is coming. Whenever you're looking for things, you'll eventually find them. And that's just the truth and the whole truth. Second thing is, let's review the review your resume.
Yeah.
You know,
because what if there's like mistakes on your thing on your behalf too?
What
Like,
if it's not well done? What if your sources or that you have references calling in aren't giving you a good review?
Hate them. Imagine
She's
your
a
references
flop.
are literally like fucking
No,
loser.
but I mean, it is things to think about.
Yeah, and it's absolutely possible.
Did you used to lie on your resume? I would lie. I found myself in a lot of jobs that I should not have been at. I'd be, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing here.
I'd be lying
Excel,
on that resume.
I know how to use it. Check. I'm bilingual.
Bilingual.
Listen.
I literally don't know a lick. And I'm literally like, I know Spanish, baby.
For my reference, I would always put my Aunt Dee Dee, and it would be my mom's best friend.
Absolutely.
And child.
I would put church people in there. I'd be
Girl,
like,
if they call you better trust.
They call you. Just know that I was an amazing employee.
I feel like you need to juice up that resume. And two, you may be applying for the wrong jobs.
Also, you could also be not a great interviewer.
She hasn't gotten an interview, I don't think.
Oh,
applying for new ones for 6 months, but just hasn't got any luck.
Gotcha.
This doesn't mean keep trying. This doesn't mean stop trying, though.
No, yeah, you just have to.
This does not mean.
It's time maybe just to reassess a little bit.
It's a reassess.
Like, let's say if you do make it to the interview, it's like, okay, cool. So why don't you do some like mock interviews, like, kind of seeing like what you could be honestly looking for. Even YouTube videos are like how to do good interview questions, or like there's a lot of different things
how to build out a good resume. Also, you might want to apply for some jobs of something you haven't thought about doing before. You know what I mean? As long as it's like the pay is similar or something that you are good for. Maybe put your neck out there. Try, because apparently maybe the area that you're applying in is struggling a bit. It can be full. Also, patience. 6 months isn't bad. 6 months isn't bad.
It's not.
6 months is not bad. It could be a lot worse. So be patient with it, but also constantly rejish. Okay, let me look at my resume, see how I can spruce this up.
Yes.
Let me look at the jobs I'm applying. Call these hoes. That's what Erin does when she needs a job. Hey, I submitted my application online. Are you guys hiring? Or she'll go in. She don't play no games, honey.
Follow-ups are so important when it comes to like getting a job.
Walk in the building. Let them see you. It makes such a big difference.
Be personable with it. I really think that makes a massive difference. Like I have many times I've applied jobs, and honestly, I've almost gotten them every single time where I've called and be like, hey, like I just was following up. So nice to meet you. Just wanted to kind of see where it was at with the application.
Yeah.
And literally 9 times out of 10, I got the job.
You better hit the streets.
Baby, hit the streets.
You gotta hit the streets.
Be seen, be heard, and just if they know that you want it and you're hungry for it, chances are a lot higher you would get the position.
I also feel like whenever you put that little extra foot forward, the universe or God, whoever you believe in out there, they throw you gifts.
Absolutely.
It does. I'm telling you, like a gift will come. And also you should ask friends and family members, hey, do you know if anyone's hiring? Is your job hiring? Is anyone hiring? Like start asking.
Use your web.
Yep. Use your web.
Network, use your web, like just trying to find resources of people that could potentially be hiring, or, resources of like, just like at the end of the day, if you're putting out that energy, like Laura was saying, if you put out the energy of like, I want a job, I'm going to get a job. Jobs, like I swear, will somehow like start to appear, start to form. Like you have to really, really be about it, though. You have to be all focused honed in on just that. Again, like I was saying, looking up potential like mock interviews, reassessing the resume, like doing everything that you can where like the job is going to be a success and you're going to get that position. So that is our advice on that. Oh my God, that's so funny. I feel like we already answered this one. It was like how to stay motivated with working out, but we already kind of did that. Okay, this one's interesting.
Okay.
How to know if you're ready to date. Still working on myself, but I miss dating. Can I have both?
Yeah.
And I literally was like, absolutely you can. At the end of the day too, like there's different versions of you, right? There's like your single you, and then there's like your dating you, and there's like different versions of that could be, and you could be really, really grown as a person, as an individual, and be really like, I'm ready, I'm mature, but in a relationship you can be like, fuck, like I wasn't ready for this, and be like honestly kind of spooked in different aspects of it. So I think that you can have both and be working on yourself constantly, but also like putting your foot out there a little bit of dating.
You know what's interesting about dating? Like you have to eventually meet someone you have to meet someone, you know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like when you meet someone, nothing is true.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
You put that best foot forward
if
in the beginning.
Like who on earth is gonna go on a date and be like, I'm actually clinically depressed and fuck you. You know what I mean? Or I have so much anxiety I don't function. Yeah. Or I'm really dirty and I don't like. No one's gonna come in with lead with that, right?
Horrible.
You lead with the butterflies and rainbows and politeness and learning and meeting each other and like learning the basic tidbits. And then you waste so much time because you don't. I mean, you wish you could just like go in. I'm speaking as someone who doesn't date and hasn't dated for like 17 years, but it's like you wish you could just be like. Figure out more quicker about people.
Yeah,
so you could go ahead and be like, oh, nope, you're not going to work for me.
No,
or,
I know.
Yep, you're crazy. You know what I mean? Because you don't find that stuff out.
Not in the beginning.
You have to date to get there, but you don't find that out by dating. You find that out by...
Get to know someone.
Talking.
To really talk and really experience
getting in there.
Or like kind of seeing flags ahead of time too.
Yeah.
There'll be little things like I've stopped dating guys
but
based off of a flag. But it's crazy
because a flag could be so wrong. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this person did this and that's a huge flag to me, so I'm going to go ahead and say no. I would say that's a super reasonable response.
Right.
However, it's like, what if that person is like, would be super great for you if like you guys live together, you got to know on a deeper level. It could be your, so it's all very hard
situational.
and
situational.
It's complicated.
It is. Honestly, dating is a very complicated thing. It's a very, very fucking tough. I've been on dates where I was like for example, like I've been on dates where a guy was like rude to the waiter, and I was like, this is not gonna work for me. Like,
See, that would have to be
that's a red flag for me. That's
just
like not something I'm okay with.
Yeah, something I don't want to learn more.
Like I was like, I don't really need to learn more.
I don't want to find out you're great later.
No, totally. And it's like, what if? And honestly, he was a cool guy, and that was our third date. But just seeing how nasty he was to the waiter and just rude he was, I was like. Because this could be a reflection of what could happen to me in the future, too.
Do you know what I have a problem with, too? Not that I date, but I do meet a lot of people and network and go to dinners with other people. This may be too much, so I'm admitting, so y'all go lightly on me. But if a person is just too fucking much, like if they're like... you don't have this for my drink, and they're not being rude. They just have like a lot. They're very needy, or like, I'm hot. Can we move tables? Or I don't like this seating. Like if it's always something, I really don't fuck with people like that. And it's not even them being rude. It's just like
the dramatic.
Shut up and sit down. We're at a restaurant. Get the fucking piece of fruit when you get home. You know what I mean? Like all the dramatics. Like I'm not like that. My friends aren't like that. My family's not like that. Everybody's just so happy to be there. I don't know. For me, it's like goes beyond being rude to someone.
100%. No, because there's different levels
trolling,
of it.
by the way.
No, absolutely. But there's levels to these things.
That would be a red flag for me.
It's a red flag. So you're kind of like, well, you're acting a fool. You're acting a mess. Like this is weird. And the thing is, like for me, maybe it's also like in my culture and which is how I grew up. It was like you don't act a fool in public.
See, that's how we grew up, honey.
I grew up like that. I just that's how it was. I was like. You save that bullshit when you're home. You act right. You're polite. You're sickening in person, and that's just what it's going to be.
Like, for instance, I've been to dinner several times with different people who have done this. They request something. They want something, whether it's a side, a seasoning, whatever. It's been different stuff, and if the restaurant doesn't have it, they pitch a bitch fit. That really gets on my fucking nerves really bad, and it pisses me off. I'm like, shut up.
But that's more of like a character flaw as a person. That's not even like... an issue with like a little red flag. Like, no, it's like a character flaw. That's like if you're that kind of person. That's a problem
for me.
If that's how you are as a person, that's a whole different level.
And it sounds little and light, but it's really annoying.
But when you're experiencing it, it sounds little and light.
It's not exactly when you're sitting
in the
there
moment and you're awkward as fuck because they're literally going in on the waiter.
I'm like, baby, the waiter just takes orders. He doesn't run the kitchen. He cannot go to the grocery store and get you what you want. You came to a restaurant. If you can't handle it, go home.
Eat, maybe order from home or make it yourself. I can't stand that either. It's like me. I'm like imagining like me ordering like a ginger beer. And I'm like, hey, can I get some ginger beer? And they're like,
oh, we don't have ginger beer, but we have ginger ale. And you're kind of like, what? And you're like, y'all don't have anything? Like, see, I can't stand.
No, I can't
Girl, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to appear?
Fucking bonds, bro.
It's a waiter. Honey, in LA, we be dealing with these things, and it bothers me.
It bothers me too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the exact same.
I'm like, go to your house.
Go make it.
Go. Get.
And you're on timeout.
I'm sorry, I trailed.
But it's the truth. I completely agree with you. It really is an issue, and it's like, for example, that is a fight. And like, if someone that I was seeing acted like that and wasn't necessarily even rude, but they were just over the top dramatics for no reason. Yep. That's a problem for me as well.
That's a problem for me.
So it's like there's gonna be things that feel like are gonna be these deal breakers for you, and that's okay to have, but within reason. Like because people can be fantastic, and it's like I remember there was one situation where I was like seeing someone and I really liked him. I thought things were going great, and I saw him got drunk and he was like kind of acting a fool, and usually I'd be like, oh, red flag. Like I would be like instinctively red flagging that and be like, oh, I don't like that he's like acting up like in this way, and like this is not something like I'm cool with. But I liked him. So I kind of reassessed and I was like, you know what? He was having fun with his friends. He was, you know, living the fantasy. It was in the mood and nothing even had really happened. He was just acting really messy. And usually I'd be like, no. But I feel like as I've grown and as I've matured just as a person and even with dating, I'm like, I'm not going to write that off completely because at the end of the day, he was just having fun with his friends. And like, yeah, it might be like a lot for me because I don't get drunk. But that doesn't mean I need to write him off as like a complete red flag. So we kept talking.
That's good.
So it's like, it's something like you adjust as you move and be like, what you're cool with and what you're not cool with. And at the end of the day, you're always growing as a person. So it's like, you can be about yourself, but have a lot, inviting people in as well. Cause you'll grow a lot and experience a lot when you're dating people. Like honestly, when you're dating and you're kind of figuring out that the dating world, you mature a lot in different ways and you kind of figure out what you like, what you don't like, and aspects of your life. So I think that's great. I think you can absolutely do both at the exact same time. Try dating a little bit, but still focus on yourself. Thank you to SheMD for sponsoring this portion of Full Coverage, you guys. SheMD is on a mission to change the world of women's health by educating one woman at a time with the knowledge and expertise to be their own health advocate.
SheMD is a virtual community of female physicians who discover, discuss, and delve into the adventures of women in medicine. SheMD offers health insights to empower women, helping them stay informed and proactive about their well-being at every stage of life. For too long, women's health has been lived in the shadows and women have been dismissed. No longer. SheMD boldly addresses topics not always covered in traditional media, such as fertility struggles, menopause, painful periods, women with addiction, and so much more. By subscribing, listeners join a community where women stand together, healthier and stronger through shared knowledge and support.
I love that SheMD really, motivates and encourages listeners to really stay informed and be proactive about their health. And I think it's absolutely incredible. And I think it's really great for the community overall as a whole. So check out SheMD wherever you get your podcast today.
How do I tell my husband I owe $10,000 on just one credit card? I also have other credit cards.
Tyler just screamed.
He's laughing. Tyler is laughing at your credit card. Dad! Okay, Tyson, do not tell him. What you do is you slowly siphon money out of his bank account and you pay down your credit cards. Let me tell you something about credit cards. It's not the credit card debt's the problem. It's your spending habits that's the problem. Oh, and I know that one hurt. No, that ain't free money they're letting you borrow, baby. You paying for every penny of it because interest is not free.
No, honestly, it's really more so like, you need to assess your spending.
You gotta, because let me tell you, you pay them bitches off, you're gonna have them filled right back up if you don't assess that spending first.
And honestly, at the end of the day, you are gonna have to tell them.
Unless you can come up with a 10 dad.
Yeah, unless you can do it without it, hell yeah, more power to you. But if it's something you have to kind of get through, $10,000 is a crazy amount of money.
I think you should tell them about all the credit cards.
Honestly, me too.
Because what's 10,000? What's she being like? Yeah. What she? Because then you're gonna be like, okay, I have $10,000 credit card, and then there's five more.
There, one there,
you might as well just say, listen, this is what it is. I got a spending problem. I fucked up. I blew all the credit cards, and I got a lot of them.
Blown out.
They're
blown the fuck out. I think that's something you do have to talk to with your partner.
But you also have to be willing and ready to assess your spending problem. Because which I'm assuming based off what you wrote, that this was not buying just livable necessities. It seems like the credit cards, kind of racked up.
Maybe Credit Karma was activated.
The house.
It was activated.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Credit cards are the devil.
They
are. They're great to build your credit if you use them responsibly, but if you don't, they're the devil, and they are a never-ending cesspool that you can have and they can damage your credit way more than they can help your credit if they're used and abused. It's the truth.
To be responsible with it,
and obviously. Let me tell you, this is the thing to really think about, and people listen up. The more people in this world, the harder it's going to be to get things. Because think about this. If more people in the world than ever have an 800 credit score, what's going to happen if yours is at 500?
You're getting shit.
They're going to give less and less and less to people with bad credit scores, and even less to people. Because think about more people in the world, more credit scores. It's going to get harder.
More people,
and
less resources.
Exactly. So, that is something to think about. Credit, your credit score is, kind of like a lifeline.
It is. It's actually kind of crazy.
In the way America works.
It is.
I'm speaking on America's behalf.
That it's very much like you kind of have to your credit score is like another aspect of you in a weird
it's
way.
your livelihood, how you
it's like
get
you're
things.
spending. Yeah. And when it comes to like, let's say houses, cars,
anything,
apartments, like so many things, they need your credit score for a lot of these things to be like, are you someone that can pay money back? That's the thing. So it's really more so about responsibility and accountability. Are you someone, that's like kind of why credit's even a thing. Are you someone that will pay back the loan that you have? If you have a high credit score, it's like, oh, clearly you are someone that is responsible with money. You can pay it back. If you're not responsible with money and you have a low ass credit score, then it's like, who the fuck would ever trust you with the loan?
Exactly.
So you have to be responsible. And again, like this credit card of $10,000 debt, it is something that you have to like start paying off quite fiercely. And if you can't, then you should tell your husband.
I think your first thing, though, going into telling your husband is being willing to address the spending problem. Like having a plan, like, hey, I clearly have a spending problem. Like when you go into a situation or a problem, admitting you're wrong instead of being like, well, blah, 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 you know, you don't give me this, excuses and all that. It makes people want to be more mad and more, when you're defensible, don't be defensible. There's nothing to defend here. I have a spending problem. I spent too much fucking money and now I'm trapped and I got to work on my spending problem. And I need help. You can't be mad at that.
Honestly, it's the most honest thing you can do.
It is. Like, be honest.
It is. Just be honest about it and be like, hey, this is where we're at. I'm so sorry and I'm devastated that this happened, but I have a problem.
I think budgeting is so good too.
God, it's so important.
It's so important.
And there's a lot of like tools and resources nowadays in the 21st century that like can help you so much more with budgeting. And there's apps that can tell you like, maybe you're spending money on this, you don't need to. Like there's literally apps for that stuff now. Like you can
even our credit card divides like you spent this much on entertainment, you spent this much at restaurants, you spent so it will help you navigate where your spending's going wrong. But it's not worth the debt. None of the junk or purchase. It's not worth the debt. It's not.
And the stress of debt, like the debt stress is beyond
so stressful.
Like and so heaven forbid you have to file for bankruptcy and then like completely kill your credit for like what? How many years? Like insane amounts of time. So it's like, come up with a plan.
10,000 isn't the end of the world either. No. You know what I mean? It's not good, but it's not like 100. She's like, girl, it's like.
She's like, the other credit cards have more. She's like, bitch,
I done loaded up.
There's 10K on 10
You got to check yourself at the door first because listen, the credit card debt is the problem, but is it the problem? No, it's the spending that's the problem. So address the real problem first. And then that way, whenever you pay this shit off, you don't go rack these credit cards right back up again.
Same exact problem
oftentimes, that's what happens. If you're listening and that's your habit, seriously, be honest with yourself. I'm not here to call you out. I don't care. That's your life. And I'm just saying, address the problem first.
From where it is.
It's like putting a Band-Aid over a broken arm.
Baby.
You got to fix the broken arm first.
Get the damn
guys.
arm inside. Get the bone in.
Get the bone in.
Tyler goes, ugh. That was my last one. I don't have any more.
I have severe interview anxiety and panic attacks. Oh, we kind of did that one last time. Where the person has severe anxiety for interviews. Again. Okay.
This is about the practicing. This is the epitome of that. Is going because I had severe anxiety about doing interviews too, because I was like, how am I gonna get my best foot forward? Like I was so scared. And so what I did is I would like research and search, like for example, trying to get hired at Mac, for example. I had a lot of interview anxiety because I was like, I'm scared. Like I want to be able to move from Sephora to Mac. I want to like start my artist journey. And I was super spooked, super scared. So I looked up questions that they would ask you in a Mac interview. I would watch those things. I would, be aware of what things that they could potentially ask. And then I did mock interviews and I had someone literally interview me, ask me these questions. So when I had this practice like kind of down, not over practice where it's like everything's rehearsed, but practice enough where I'm not going to have like literally like the jitters or I'm feeling like shaky. It's all about practicing and making yourself feel confident in that moment. And what's going to make you feel confident is practice. And knowing, research and knowing. Like when you know something, baby,
when you know what you're talking about.
I'm not scared.
Imagine going into Teller's Amazon interview. He had to do math problems. He had to do math problems while they sit there and watch.
I would freak out.
Excuse me. Okay, here's another great thing. Erin just interviewed for a new job because she moved back to LA, and she wasn't nervous. She was like, "I feel good." I said, "Here's the thing. Go into the interview like you already got the job.
Yeah.
Go into this interview like you're 10 times over qualified and they'd be blessed with your presence and you will exude like, I'm here, I'm ready. You're going to exude it. Also, here's another thing to think about. The worst case scenario in that interview is that you don't get the job, right? I think that's probably the worst thing that could happen. you're going to be okay.
And you're going to get another job.
So knowing that the worst thing that could possibly happen to you and you'll still be okay, that should dissolve a little bit of your anxiety and give you some peace
of mind.
And give you some peace. But also I agree, like the more you're prepared. Also, the thing about interviews is I feel like we build this up in our head and then we get there and it's like,
it's not that big.
It's not a big deal because they're
100%.
asking you questions about yourself. And what do you know more than anything in the world? You know yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why it's like if you have a mock interview or you figure out what they're going to ask ahead of time, because you can find kind of anything on everything. You can figure out a lot of questions. You can literally do, like, let's say you're going to get interviewed to be a flight attendant. And you're like, what are like classic flight attendant questions that they're going to ask you in an interview?
You need to know all of them.
You need
to be knowing all of them.
You need to know everything, but you have sources to find those that information. So you can actually be prepared and know what you're doing. And honestly, what someone that interviews loves to see is someone that's prepared.
Also, energy. As human beings, we feed off energy. So, for instance, I'm in a really, really, really bad mood, but I'm still coming in and acting polite. People will still feel my energy. I'm the happiest person in the world, but something bad is going on. I mean, people, they feel energy. So I always say, listen to your most favorite hyped up songs on the way to the interview. And do not think about the interview. Going to the interview, say yes. Yes.
Like, yeah, hell yeah.
What if they ask this?
I'm
yes.
Boots. I live.
Yes. What if they ask this? I'm scared. Yes. It's just yes. The answer's never no. Just block it all out with the word yes. I know it sounds stupid and it feels stupid, but it works.
You're also trying to trick your brain.
Yeah,
you're trying to trick your brain.
Your brain, this side, and it's going to put your energy, your mind, and your aura in a better space. So when you go in that interview, whether they like what you said or not, they felt your energy. I have had so many people come up to me and say, you have really good energy. I'm telling you, human beings, there's an aura.
Same with me.
You can feel. Have you ever met someone and they didn't do anything to you and you say their energy was off?
Girl,
they had a weird vibe.
You know I like
There was something, exactly, energy.
Like, oh,
so that's why that part to me is so important because doing those things, blasting your favorite songs, singing them as loud as you can, saying yes, yes,
getting to a high frequency.
Yes, high frequency. That is really going to lift your energy. It's going to lift your frequency and the interviewer is going to feel it. Whether they want to feel it or not, they're going to feel it. So those are just some tips. And by the way, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can honestly,
do it. The thing is too, you can trick your brain. At the end of the day, the brain is a fickle thing and you can trick it. You can be like, I'm sickening, I'm confident. You tell yourself something enough, the brain will think that is what it is. So like literally you just constantly doing these repeating things, it's going to help your brain be like, oh my God, that's actually the truth.
You know
like,
how
I'm not
anxiety like creeps and slowly, and then you get like that weight in your chest and heart, and then you feel like you can't breathe.
I know. Well,
start saying yes. Literally, start going yes.
I'm fine. I'm not anxious.
Yes.
I'm fine.
Say
it out
loud if you have to. Yes. 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 Shut it down. It really does. It shuts it down and it tricks your brain because what you're doing is you're realigning, you're refocusing, and you're refusing to let your brain, even though it's fighting you and it's trying to get back in that place of anxiety. Yes. Yes, it doesn't even get a chance to breathe. It's like taking the oxygen out of the fire.
Exactly. So you can trick your brain into it in those situations. So when you're going into interview, the prepping beforehand, knowing where you're going to go and what you're going to talk about, things that they might ask you, and then on your way there, getting to the highest place that you can possibly be.
Highest place you can get. I need to be right now
your
in the
elite
best
version.
The elite version. I need to be the happiest, highest frequency energy. What do I need to do that? Wear your favorite shoes, drink your favorite drink, listen to your favorite music. Anybody that pisses you the fuck off, you can wait to text them. You can wait to tell. Anybody who gives you bad advice, please, can you just put them on hold for an hour or two?
After the interview.
I'm sure you can. And then they can blow your day up after the interview. Great.
After.
Anything that's going to get in your way, because the most important thing is that interview, and you're going to nail it.
I completely agree.
And that is it for our advice segment.
Did you guys like it? I think it's fun. I love doing like advice giving, and it also like I feel like it makes me even realize more things about myself when I'm like answering questions, and I'm like, oh, that's something like I didn't really think about, but saying it, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like it makes me feel good giving advice and when we can.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And it just reminds you that we're all human and we're all going through things. There were so many good questions, by the way. I wish we could go on for like 4 hours.
We're going for 10.
I know. Answering, there's so many good ones, but just know everybody's going, like anyone who it seems like they have a perfect life, just know factually they do not. And know that if you're going through something, even no matter how niche and specific, just know thousands of other people are going through the same thing and trying to figure it out too. The amount of repeats The number one was how do I make friends in my 30s?
Oh my God. That was a big one.
That was a big one.
And that, you guys, that is tough. Like, honestly, making friends as you get older is tough.
That one's so tough because it takes a level. Well, one, we are removed from society as far as school and college. Once you're in your 30s, some people go to school at that age, but I'm just saying a lot of people, the masses, are removed from that environment.
They're in their working
you don't have to
environment at that
really
time.
Work for friends in that environment. They're kind of surrounding you. People are. You're connected with people.
You're friends.
Yeah, situationally, you're going to have friends. But in adulthood, I think it gets difficult because it takes work and getting uncomfortable.
100%. And I think that advice on even just on that really quickly is that if you put yourself in situations that you can make friends with, that is what you're going to need to. For example, going to the gym. A lot of times people that have, if you're putting yourself in like-minded situations of people that are doing that same thing, chances are high you're probably going to find them as friends.
People try to be my friend all the time at hot yoga. I personally don't want to hang out. But I have so many people in there that just want to pop by, say hello, and be a friend. And I promise you, if I wanted more friendships or to nourish that,
you could.
In a heartbeat. So
easily. And so could, girl.
A hobby, the gym, a paint and sip.
Something really important too, like this, I got one that was like, how do I make more queer friends? What you can do, you guys, is sign up, if you are queer out there, sign up for like all gay leagues of something, like let's say an all gay dodgeball league. Chances are high, yeah, it's gonna be kind of uncomfortable.
What
in the
if they live in Alabama?
You might be awkward. Okay, you know what? You're gonna have to go to the bar.
You're gonna have to do
different things.
Yep.
It's situational, of course, but at the end of the day, like if you are putting yourself in some situations that might be uncomfortable, yes, for sure. But you have to put yourself out there a little bit to get some back.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
And you can't expect things to come for free. Like it's never gonna be like that. You can't just be like, how do I make more friends in my 30s?
They're not gonna land on your doorstep.
No, are you putting yourself out there? Are you going to places where you can make friends? Are you going to the gym? Are you making these connections? Are you doing hot yoga? Are you going to classes? Are you signing up for sports that you might have played?
Are you an active member of your community? And then also you can ask yourself, I mean, come on, has there been that one friend that's asked to hang out a dozen times and you just don't know if you'd make good friends, so you put them off, or you just don't feel like it, so you're constantly putting off that one person, or they're just not your cup of tea, so you won't give them a chance? You know, be brave, and there's people out there, or maybe there's someone you do want to hang out with and you just don't have the guts to ask.
Right, ask them.
I always say the worst thing people can say is no, and you're going to be all right.
And you'll live.
One of my assistants, she had wrote me a long message because it was like, hey, like I want to do assistant work, and I want to reach out to you, because she had worked with me in a different capacity, not in assistant work. And she was like, I just want you to know, like I have this as an experience, and I just want to put it out there and try. So if you need an assistant, I'm here. And when I talked to her in person, I said, you know, the great thing, she was like, I was scared to send you that, but I went ahead and did it. And I said, well, I'm really proud you did it, because the great thing is, the worst thing I could have said to you is, I don't need an assistant right now. And then who loses? No one. And
it took her, what, 5 seconds to send the message?
So always send the message. I'll be brave, guys.
You have to put yourself out there. I know it's tough, but like that is how you do it. Like you don't make friendships without work.
I think people are so scared of feeling the failure, or like the rejection. It's the rejection.
Hell yeah, I get that.
There's no human being on this earth that wants to feel rejection.
No one.
But it's weird, because the more you feel it, I don't think anyone ever comes immune to it, but you come it makes you so much stronger. Oh yeah, honey, they're iron walls. Okay, it makes you so much stronger. I'll say that. So
I cannot agree more.
Toughen up.
Yeah. Put yourself in situations where you can.
And maybe you won't get rejected.
Yeah.
Or maybe you will, but guess what? You'll be just fine.
You'll be
just fucking fine.
And also, like, you have coworkers potentially out there too. You can make friends with coworkers. Going out with coworkers. With a coworker, you can meet other friends of their coworker that you might really enjoy. There's a lot of different ways that you can actually do it, but you just have to actually put yourself out there first.
Yep. Get uncomfortable, baby. That's what life's all about.
It's tough, but if
you've been comfortable for too long, I urge you to do something, anything that shakes shit up a little bit. Even if you're happy, just shake shit up a little bit, and you'll be amazed at the doors that will open for you.
I cannot agree more.
What a great way to close our
agree.
FB.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We love it. And thank you guys so much for submitting us advice, questions. We love doing this, and we'll definitely be doing it again.
Bye, guys.
We love you. Bye.